Now at the Geyser site, just down the road a ways, about 10 kilometers from Gullfoss. It ain't Yellowstone, but it's their Yellowstone. A little bit of a boiling pot. There are a number of these serene, quiet little hot pots. They just spill off over the side. Notice none of the dramatic colors of Yellowstone. At least the geyser goes off frequently. I'm coming from my left. This is the huge lake that I go around. 365 is the highway that wraps around it down to Pingvellir National Park. I'm guessing this is some kind of a reservoir. Notice volcanic steam coming up over there. Little idea of the landscape here. Notice there's a rainbow right, well there was once, it's gone now, oh, right there, just faintly to the left of that mountain there. These two houses have magnificent views, much of which we can't see right now because it goes to our right. But this is the other side of their house views. The tranquil farming area. Now, most of the population of Iceland has always lived on the farms. This is just a superb example of a beautiful place to live, as well as probably great farmland relative to Iceland. I camped last night just this side of the very end of that upper right to lower left sweeping arc of that mountain there. And Pingvellir, or whatever it is, National Park, is right over where I'm panning now, but of course you can't see it. This is my van. Notice the horse. As I drove in there, I went past the horse, and you could see that he was displaying great respect for this artwork. I began this trip believing that most of the weather would be like last night, cloudy, rainy, and windy. But this is what it's been mostly. When I first came up here, and you can hear them squawking over there. Some kind of geese, several flocks, good-sized flocks, rose up just because I was driving down through here. I think we can see them way over there. I'll see if you can get to see them. I think it's the Arctic goose. This National Park of Iceland is known for two things. One, it's the location of a rift, in other words, a space or gap between two tectonic plates that are separating from each other. And that's the cause of presumably all these mountains, is that when the plates split right and left, let's say, or east and west, then the new magma from down beneath in the inside the earth starts to well up and ooze up and forms the inner core of Iceland, presumably the highlands. Second reason, according to Icelandic history, it is the most long-standing in operation parliament in the world. So here's the map. I believe that we were, or are now, right where this red dot is, or similar to it, close to it, right up in here somewhere, or soon will be. We've come on Route 365 from the east, working this way then to 12 and up, and we'll follow 36 out. It's not really 12, it's 36 out. An absolutely gorgeous morning in Iceland. This lake appears to get very little use. The irony of it is, so far driving down this park road, there are a number of pull-offs paved. However, you can't see anything from those pull-offs, and I don't even see trails through this underbrush, which has got to be pretty gnarly to hike on. Here's what appears to be a gap in the foliage, but it's not tramped down, and it still only appears to be a hole rather than a root. A little more optimistic for the adventurous, but I don't feel like it this morning. To one who lives in the West and travels it extensively, this seems very familiar. You almost see striations over there and on that mountain that seem to suggest glacial paths, sedimentary rock. But that's where the illusion or allusion ends, because there is none. It's all volcanic. What's eerie is I get up in the morning and I walk out of my van and I'm expecting, hoping that I will see deer or some other critter roaming about, but there aren't any. Literally none. Sheep. I don't know if this is a reflection directly of the rift or not, but it certainly is symbolic of what the rift would be like. A little cavity reminiscent of a lava tunnel. But also, what's very interesting and indicative of lava is this example of preserved flow. You can just see how it flowed out this way, ending right over there. It's momentum. Anywhere else in the world, you think this would be seething with life of some sort, besides mosses. But I see no evidence of it. Doesn't mean it's not here. But you can see more of this swirling as we walk up on top of this surface here of this crack. And it is a crack running all the way down here. And you can see where the tunnel collapsed and portions of it fell in on itself, no doubt. Other portions still suspended. And it runs all through that area there. We are in a humped area here too. Notice over there we can anticipate a pretty falls to see in a few minutes. This is a scuba diving center, or at least a point where they hang out and get all their gear together. Must be an interesting experience. I wonder what they see under these waters.